A couple things you want to take notice as we want to graph a quadratic function. And today as we look at it, there's going to be a little bit more. We're going to add that linear term back in. That means x to the first power. So I have to have x squared. A can't be 0, otherwise it takes the x squared back out. So what's really important today is we're going to find the x value. The x value of the vertex. Okay. And then when I plug that x back in, I'm going to get the y value. So I can actually find the entire vertex using this little simple equation, negative b over 2a. So let's go ahead and practice that. Remember, the a value here is 1. In this case, nothing means 1. The b value is the coefficient on x, so that's 3. So I'm going to plug in b for 3, so negative 3, and 2 times 1, so I have negative 3 over 2. So x equals negative 3 halves. Next time we go through, we have to find a ourselves. Here it is, it's 2. When I find b, that is now negative 2. So they want us to go through and plug in negative 2. So negative 2 is positive 2 over, and let's put 2 down here, over 4. So that means 1/2. So that means the x value of my vertex, also the axis of symmetry, is 1/2. And the last one, a is negative 2, b is now 4. So I'm going to use negative 4, the opposite of 4. I'm going to plug in negative 2, so I have negative 4 over negative 4, which gives me 1. So x equals 1 for my vertex, and it is also the axis of symmetry. Alright, last thing we have on this here page, when you substitute 0 in for x into the equation, you get y equals c. So the y-intercept, that means you plugged x equals 0 into the equation, means you're just going to get that c value on the end, which we see way up here. So we can also list on all of these, 0 is paired with 4. Here's my 4. 0 is paired with negative 6. Sign's going to stay with it. And 0 over here, you should be saying, is paired with negative 1. So I can find my vertex, and I can find 1. So if I find my vertex, 1, we would plug it back in. We're going to do that on the next page. I can find the vertex, and I also get one more ordered pair. That's all I need to graph it, and that's the whole point of today. We're trying to graph a quadratic function, and we're going to move it left and right just a little bit. Alright, so we're going to use x equals negative b over 2a. I found a as negative 1, b is 4, c equals negative 2. So negative b, negative 4 over 2 times negative 1. After you do this a couple times, you probably won't write all this stuff out, but I'm going to write it out so you understand what's going on. So right now my vertex I know starts with 2, and I'm going to plug that in. Another ordered pair that I know, remember this is the other part, if I plug in 0 into this equation, this is gone, all they have is negative 2. So I have 0, negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and put that on here. The vertex, we're going to finish that up. And I also know that the x value of 2 is going to be my axis of symmetry. So this parabola is going to go right down through here. Second item that we'll have is I want to make sure I understand that the a value is less than 1. So it's going to open down of some sort. So let's find out where in the world it's going to start. Well, that means I'm going to take this x value of 2 and plug it in so I can find the y value. So negative 1, I'm going to treat this negative sign as negative 1, 2 squared, plus 4 times 2, minus 2. So I have negative 4 out of all this. 2 squared is 4 times negative 1, so plus 8 minus 2. So I have 4 minus 2, so I have 2. So I plug in 2, I get 2. That's kind of nice. 2 and 2. And then we'll come back and get the reflection. So if I come down here, left 2, so I have to go right 2. So it is symmetric. And we said the a value is negative. So that's kind of nice. A value is negative. And my parabola does open down. Okay, let's run through all those steps again. X equals negative b over 2a. So that is negative 6, which is positive 6, over 2 times 1, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So a couple things I know already. Vertex starts with 3. We're going to find that other value. The axis of symmetry is 3. And let's go ahead and get this as we list everything. My C value is 4. So I have 4. So 0 gets paired with 4 is an additional point that we'll have. Alright, let's go ahead and plug that 3 in. 3 squared minus 6 times 3 plus 4. That's 9 minus 18 plus 4. These two are going to make negative 9 plus 4, so negative 5. Negative 5. So here's all the information I need listed over here on the right. Let's get a coordinate plane. So not to exact scale, but you get the idea. So 3, 1, 2, 3. Negative 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, 3, negative 5. Here's my point. Next part we'll do, axis of symmetry. That's what that x equals 3 means. So just put a dashed line right down the middle. And 0, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means I went to the left 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3. And up to that 4. The a value is positive 1. So it means we're doing something right again. That's pretty good stuff. Alright, we can go through exactly all the same stuff. We read through the whole problem. We're launching t-shirts. It's always nice to get a free t-shirt, by the way. So anytime you can do that, just go ahead. And it doesn't even matter what's on it. I mean, free t-shirt's free t-shirt. I mean, what more do you want? It's a t-shirt, it's free. So either which way. So we can give you all that stuff. Instead of just giving you a simple equation, we can say, hey look, you get a chance to win a t-shirt. Alright, I'll just solve the problem now. So what am I supposed to find? How long does it take the t-shirt to reach the maximum height? Alright, maximum height. That means they want the vertex. So we gotta find the vertex. Let's find the vertex. How do I find the vertex? X equals negative b over 2a. We got negative 64 over 2 times negative 16. Negative 64 over negative 32. The answer is now 2. Okay, so I know the vertex starts with 2. So right now, one thing I know is it's going to be 2 seconds. Whatever height it reaches, it's going to happen in 2 seconds. So the time equals 2 seconds. I can answer that. So when it says, how long does it take? Yep, check. Done. Done with that part. Alright, let's plug it in. Let's find out what height it's going to reach. So negative 16, 2 squared plus 64 times 2 plus 5. Alright, we have 64. 64, 128 here, plus 5. Plus, this is going to give me negative 16 times 4. Let's get a little more room here. Alright, what do we got? Oh, negative, look at that. Negative 64 plus 128 plus 5. So we get 64 plus 5, so 69 feet. So the vertex is 2 and 69. So the second part, what's the highest point it's going to reach is 69 feet. That's how high it's going to go up there. Alright, how far above the court level is it at that point? Check, 69 feet. What is the range of the function that models the height of the t-shirt? Okay, so well, we know a couple things. The range y is less than or equal to 69 feet. And it was caught at 35 feet. But if they're going to talk about the range, I mean, this thing's going to be launched from the ground, come up, and then back down. So that means the lowest it's ever going to be. So it has to be greater than or equal to, it was launched from 5 feet. And that's given from our equation 0, 5. If we plug that in there. So range has 2 parts to it. Sometimes we'll list it all in one sentence, but either which way is fine. Right now I just want to make sure you understand what's going on, and that's pretty easy to point out from the second half of our vertex. Alright, give you another one here in the notes. Same type of problem. let's go ahead and set it up. So the height is equal to negative 16 t squared. In this case, 72 feet per second plus 72 t plus the 5 feet. You see these guys here. They're making sure they keep that t-shirt at least 5 feet above the ground. So I don't know who they're gonna. I mean, they're definitely looking in this direction. So these guys, they really got to get excited. Otherwise, you know, they're just gonna turn and look over here. Anyway, either which way, but same thing. Negative b over 2a. Negative 72. Negative 16 times 2 here. I get this flip-flopped. Not a big deal. Negative 72 over negative 16. I think we get 2 1/4 here. Alright, then we're going to plug that back in. Alright, so exactly the same thing. Less than check. We want to make sure we're doing alright here. So taking all the crowd and everything out of it. So no pressure here. Just go ahead and find these. X equals negative b over 2a is what we're using. Plug it in. You're also going to use in number 1. Our example is 0, and I'm going to get 1. Right, I'm going to get the c value right here. Alright, make sure you have those checked out. Understand them. If not, use some of this space up here. Write down your questions. See if we can answer them. Later.